Sears Center. This is our scoreboard. It's the W3000. It's the same as the United Center scoreboard. This is a very easy tutorial. We're gonna go over and show you how to turn everything on and get you ready to go. The scoreboard is always going to be on, so you never have to worry about that because we know when you guys are in, we'll have the scoreboard on. When you come in here, we have the computer off, only because we don't want the circuits to overload if they're on for 12 hours during the day. So there's two buttons here that you just need to know. The on button here, that'll turn the computer screen on. And then in the middle of the primary board here is an on switch, which it'll initialize first, and then go right here to the game. So you don't have to worry about the command display here at all for turning the computer on. It's already set to hockey. It's good to go. Okay. On the keyboard, there's a button that says do not touch. We mean it. Do not touch. The only reason why is this is what happens. It goes to a different screen, and if you start hitting different buttons, it's going to go to different things, and it'll screw the scoreboard up. So it's set for hockey up here, and we're set for hockey here. Another button not to hit is the F6 button. Okay? F6 gives you international hockey. And what that does, it counts the clock up. That's how they do it across the pond. So if you hit F6, you're going to see international up here. If you hit it again, it goes back to the normal way of doing the scoreboard. Okay. Now, I know that there are 13-minute periods. What other?
11.
There's 11.
11, 12.
Okay. So now, to set the time on the scoreboard, what you need to do is you have your minutes, seconds. You don't have to worry about the seconds unless something happens during the game. So if you have a 13-minute period, I've worked here for 6 years and I still get that confused. You set it to 13 minutes right here. That hasn't done anything yet until you hit the set button. When you hit the set button, you've got time up there. And so now, obviously, you've got the referees over there. You got the referees over there. They're signaled to you. They drop the puck. And you got the game going. So you're obviously going to keep your finger by the button, and it's just a simple toggle to stop and start. The home team comes down, they score a goal, and this is the easy thing to do. Home team scores, you go right over here to where it says home score, and it's set or increase. You just press the button, and you got one. Now, sometimes you press it and it might not, looks like it didn't do anything, and you press it again. Well, now I've got 3 by accident. It's 1, you go over here. Now you come over here to the number board here, press 1, it'll show up on the command display, and you press where the home score is, and you're back to the 1. So that eliminates that mistake over there. You go back to playing, blah, 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 blah. The first period ends, go into the second period, you've got your period increase right here. So it goes up to the second period. And then the game goes on, and we're going. Now, if you really wanted to keep track of shots on goal, if you really wanted to do that, there's a button here that says local shots enable. You can press it. If it's not lit up, it's not going to do anything. But once it is lit up, then you can start putting shots on goal. And it's on the bottom, obviously.
We're not required to do shots.
You're not required to do it, but if you really want to make it look cool. It's like with my football. It's like with my football, we put it down in distance because it looks cool on the scoreboard, right? All right, now there's a penalty. Okay, now you told me that the Elite League has 2-minute penalties, or some of them do?
League, yeah.
All right. Now, from what I've heard from...
It's a minute and a half for mites and squirts.
Okay, so if you're mites and squirts, you have to do a little extra work. Okay? So the home team has a penalty. They've also got the lead. Home team has a penalty. You've got 5 buttons up here. F1, F2. Don't worry about F3, F4, and F5 if you're mites and squirts. But F1 is your home, F2 is your visitor. So if the home team has a penalty, what you have to do, make sure the number lock is on, because I shut it off, so it's off. So you just have to hit, right here it's taped, because we don't want people touching everything, because they all do different things. As long as you got the green arrow, the green light here, your number locks are on. So now you've got the penalty, you put the number in. It's 14, but since it's mites and squirts, you're going to have a minute 30. So you type in a minute 30, and it didn't do anything. Okay. Oh, this is good.
It's maybe the scroll lock or something.
Yeah, this is the part that. Okay. Alright, so we got 14, you put in a minute 30. You don't have to hit enter or anything, it's already there. So now you've got that.
How did you get the player up there? I'm sorry.
Okay. We're gonna have another penalty here in a second.
Everything happened real fast.
We have another penalty coming up for the home team. We got a tripping penalty. So you hit H.
Home.
Home.
Just for home.
Then you put the number in. It's 7. You got to put 0 in. 0, 7. And then it's another minute 30, and it's up there.
So you just put the minute 30, you don't got to put 0130.
No, just put 130, and it types in. Okay, now the home team is a really nasty team. And so they've got another penalty coming up. Whistle is blown. Number 21 has a penalty. So you type in 21, and a minute 30. Now he's not going to count down. He's not going to start counting down until the first penalty is over. So there's 3 people in the box, and so we just keep going. And once the minute 9 goes off, that goes off the screen completely. 2 and 3 move up to 1 and 2, and it's just a cascade in terms of that. But now,
Can you show them the buttons to push if it was a 2-minute
if
penalty?
it's a 2-minute penalty, okay, now the visiting team has a penalty. So you hit visitor, put in a number, and then you just punch F3, which is 2 minutes. And then that comes up on the visitor side. If it's a 4-minute penalty, visitor, 15, 4. And then you've got the 4 up there. I've seen a few games like that too. Yeah. So essentially,
how do you get that off? Someone scores or out of the box.
okay, now, good question. It's not doing this. You don't have to press the score here, but you have to arrow to the penalty. So you just arrow down to the penalty that's going to be expired, and then you hit delete, and that comes off.
Perfect. So if it expires, though, it'll come out automatically.
If it expires if it's a penalty kill, it expires automatically, and everything moves up, and the scoreboard goes blank.
And that's where you use the delete button to delete it? You use the arrow and then hit delete if there's a goal?
If there's a goal, yes. You hit the arrow and delete.
What about that command center? So does that override anything? So you make a mistake, you punch in something different. Is it always the
It
command?
overrides everything. So if there's... You're just fiddling around, and you do hit buttons by accident. Well, there's 1 goal for the visitor.
So that overrides. Okay,
You just have, make sure you just have to hit the 1, and then increase, and that's what it does. Or set button. Now during the game, if something happens, the whistle blows, but you forget to stop the clock, and the referee notices it. He'll come over and he'll say, "Can you put 11:16 back on the clock?" You just go over here, and you set the clock to 11:16 here. You press set, and you're good to go.
It's easier than it
Now, the only thing is you got to remember to set it back to the time of the period. After that, the reason the reason why is because when the next period starts, if you press that, it's going to go to 11:16. So once you get that start, once you get it set, hit it right back to 0. It's not going to do anything. So this way now you're safe there. What you could do if you wanted to, if you could always remember, set it to 0 because as the game winds down to the last minute of the game or a period, clock operation becomes really important. And so they, if you're 0, then you only have to hit the seconds to get it back to what they want. Just trying to think of. Oh, okay. So here you go. 5 seconds left in the penalty here. You're gonna see it tick off, and it goes off like that. But then there's a goal. The visitors, you can just go to visitor, arrow up to the penalty, delete, and it comes off. And it's that simple. I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, that's really essentially what you need to know. Since you don't have any time between, I mean, you have like a minute or 2 minute break that they usually just keep on the ice, so you don't have to worry about penalties that overlap into another period. So, because you're not keeping time on the scoreboard. You don't see the clock ticking down from a 2 minute break because they'll just keep it on the ice, so you don't have to worry about that. That's really about it. Just make sure that when you're done at the end of the evening, you shut the stuff off. Zero it out, and by zeroing out, we just say hit 0, go to that, and you zero everything out, and then you can just shut it off, and it's good to go.
Does the buzzer start and stop by itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll go for about a second.
You don't have to turn it off.
But it seems like an eternity, yeah. If you press this, that's about as long as it goes.
Okay.
Sometimes they like to have a warm-up time, right, in the beginning of the game, like 3 to 5 minutes. Do we need to do that or no?
Well, you'll do it the same way here,
You do
though.
the same way. You just go
Set
there.
0, then
Set
basically
the
for the
fi-
period.
Yeah. Well, no, you
Oh, you
can
can go to
keep it
5
at
or
one.
whatever you want.
Keep it at 1,
But-
just
And then
like
put
your
it back for the
time.
Yeah, this
period.
doesn't need. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
And you said the horn goes off automatically, you don't have to shut it off, right?
Right.
It'll blow for
It'll blow for a
half,
second
that's
and
it,
go
and
off.
shut off.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sound system?
The first group asked that too.
The first group asked that. I mean, that means we'd have to set something up
Okay.
and then have something up. But yeah, no, there's no sound system here.
All right.
Thank you.
Any questions about anything?
Are we supposed to sign in somewhere?
Yeah, I need to sign in sheet, so if you don't mind.